We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous.
Let's do this.
Yeah, 'tis the season to talk Christmas.
Blah, 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 blah. Is a word used for talking.
Blah, 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 blah. That's one word.
Yeah, it's a word used for talking when people are like, and blah, 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 this. You know, when you're skimming over a story.
Sort of like the yada yada.
Yeah.
Of its
Once again,
thing.
Sean brings up a Seinfeld reference.
Actually, I'm bringing up a Visible ad reference, which is referencing a sign. It's with Jason Alexander, and it's referencing Seinfeld. Yep. But I mean, that's indirect. That's not my fault. I was specifically referencing the Visible ad.
I don't know if you were. I don't believe you.
Well, it's fresh on my mind because I've seen it recently, way more recently than the episode of Seinfeld that it was referred to.
To which it was referring?
To which it was referring.
I prefer blah.
Very well. I can tell by the way you dress.
Wow, dude. This is supposed to be the time of giving.
I'm giving you
compliments, not
I'm giving you
remarks.
I'm trying to give you a little motivation.
To spread joy.
I'm trying to give you a little bit of motivation to spruce up your wardrobe. Just
because I'm wearing one of my two black sweaters that I have,
and a stocking cap,
essentially identical. You know what? I just started wearing beanies again because I hadn't been. It's been such a mild winter. I hadn't started wearing them yet because it hadn't been cold enough. So I just recently put them on again. So switching it up. Still a hat. I'm still definitely wearing a hat of some type.
I should reestablish my beanie game. I have one hat that I'll wear. It's weird. I bought two of the same hat one day. It might have even come in a 2-pack, but one's like a dark charcoal color and one's like more of a sort of like the color you're wearing, which is like a off-white.
Kind of cream.
Yeah, for some reason the white one it fits larger than the other one. Okay. And so I don't like wearing it because it's not one that it's too small to fold up. But it's too big to
bunch up in the back. I just let mine bunch up in the back.
Yeah, I don't like that. I want it to
be more of the slouchy look.
I want it to be tightly fit to my head, and that's difficult for me to do because my head is kind of on the small side. So a lot of hats are not in they're a little bit big for me usually.
Have you thought about purchasing youth hats?
I have not.
Youth sizes.
I have not thought of that.
Like a large youth.
That's what I consider myself.
Consider your size to be about a large youth.
Yeah. So whenever ask me like how big I am, I say large youth, madam.
One large youth, please.
Now, please step down from that podium. I will address the crowd.
What
Hear
crowd?
ye, hear ye. This message comes from a large youth. Don't pity us.
I don't pity the youth.
That's my favorite Wham song.
Pity the youth?
I don't pity the youth.
I don't believe that's a Wham song.
Oh, who is it then?
I don't believe it's an Anybody song.
Is it Cars?
No, I don't think anybody's written that song yet.
Well, here we go. We got another song to write, Matt.
What genre do you think that would be?
I already forgot what the other one was. I don't pity the youth. I don't know. To me, it sounds like sort of punk rock.
Yeah, I was thinking punk. It'd be a punk song.
Yeah. So there's various groups that would fit the bill or foot the bill. Fit the bill. No, you foot the bill is when you pay for it.
Yeah.
Fit the bill means you would be a good match for whatever the subject is.
Yeah, it means you would fit
my foot
in the bill.
In the bill.
Or the bill would fit on you.
So that's why you have to find a duck that has a foot fetish.
And then you foot that bill.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds...
Talk about
foot fetish.
Talk about foot in mouth.
Happy holidays, everyone. Welcome to High School Famous. Did we do any of that yet? I don't even know anymore.
Welcome in. We haven't welcome in High School
You always
Famous.
say welcome in.
Do we?
We don't. You always say that. I don't know why you always say welcome in.
Why not?
I don't know. It just sounds weird.
You take issue with it? It's a way to say, hey, join our chat. Like you're welcome to sit in and.
Should we say good morning, class? Like what?
Good morning, class. Oh yeah. But never mind. I forgot about something that we talked about maybe doing a long time ago.
You bring stuff up to me all the time, and I was like, yeah, maybe, and then it just dies.
We're like, we should do this. We should do this consistently on the show. We should do this. Oh, yeah, that sounds great. It fits the theme. It's on brand. Okay, well, let's never actually do it. Great. Meeting adjourned. Please step down from your podium, sir.
We have zero brand.
We're high school famous. That's our brand. That's my brand anyway.
But the name has nothing to do with actual school. All right.
High school has everything to do with school.
The name of our podcast has nothing to actually do with high school. It's in what high school is. Anyways, besides the point, this is an off the record conversation.
But we're having it on the record. So you're welcome, everyone. You're privy to our private stuff. The stuff we only talk about in private.
Say our privates.
No, why would I say that?
Privy to our privates.
Matt, your mind is always in the gutter. That's French for gutter.
Right.
I'm sorry, French for the gutter.
Say Z is how you say the in French.
Z, yeah. Well, when the French are speaking English, that's what we say. That's what they say.
Oh,
Z.
What do they actually say when they're speaking French?
I can't remember.
Now.
It's either de or I forget. I would have to like recall a phrase and figure out what that little word is. But I'm not going to do that right now because you're just staring at me.
Just because you're talking, so I'm just listening.
Very good.
I believe Spanish is either L or la. So there you go. For anybody who didn't know that, this is your languages course for today's episode. How to say the in various languages.
Yeah, I think it's man. Nope, I can't think of it.
You sound fluent.
I sound like I sound like a French crazy person that's just rambling. Right. That's just speaking in tongues is what I sound like. If I was a French person that was going nuts, speaking in tongues, that might be what that would sound like. I
believe it's le L-E in
le
French. Le baguette.
Well, it's weird because you say like quelle heure est-il? It's asking what is the time, I think, but none of those are le. Unless it's like L apostrophe and then hour, so the hour. So that le could be cut off with an apostrophe
like
to combine.
The word, like the word they combined.
It's combining the and hour, so l'heure. So yeah, that sounds right. Quelle heure est-il? What time is it? What time is it in France?
Is that what is the hour, though? Is like the literal translation?
I believe so. Well, yeah. What hour? Maybe what hour is it? Or what is the hour that it is now? I don't know.
What is the hour specifically?
Please. I have to answer or I will be murdered.
I need the details.
If I don't answer this time question correctly, I will be shot out of a cannon straight down into a ravine. A ravine.
And I will be hoisted upon my own petard.
Yeah, sure. Why? Did they build the cannon?
Mm-hmm.
Did they dig the ravine?
Yeah.
Oh, well then yes. In that case, they would. It's the Clayton Ravine, which I don't like that. Anyway.
What?
We had our discussion about why it doesn't make sense that it was called the Clayton Ravine.
Names of things change all the time. So it wasn't called the Clayton Ravine originally. They named it after the woman who died in it.
Yes, Clara Clayton.
Yeah, but then she didn't die in it. So then they either kept the name it originally was, or
what happened was I take issue with the fact that Doc Brown, in his letter to Marty at the end of Back to the Future 2,
Right.
mentioned a beloved Clara, like they met each other back in 1885, and so he was telling Marty about it. But when you watch Back to the Future 3, the point where Doc actually saves her from falling into the ravine, the only reason he is in that area is because Marty has already gone back there, and they were trying to figure out the whole railroad track situation. So how did he come to meet Clara before Marty went back in time to 1885? How? Because otherwise she would have not been noticed by Doc. She would have fallen into the ravine and died, and it would have been called Clayton Ravine.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it just we don't know how much interaction Doc would have, or how many things Doc would have changed to just being there in general. So there's a chance that something else would have occurred had Marty not been there.
So
whatever.
Here's another talk about a movie. This is not a. So I want your opinion on this because this recently sort of came to my mind. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yes.
Okay.
Gene Wilder.
Yep.
The original 1970 whatever version. All the kids that disobey the rules.
Yep.
They do it in front of Willy Wonka, right? Willy Wonka then calls out the Oompa Loompas, who then take that child to whatever particular room they need to go in order to be fixed, right?
Right.
Charlie,
yep,
he also broke a rule, yes? So by all the accounts, he should not be allowed to inherit the factory.
Correct.
But he ultimately gets it because he returns the gobstopper, right?
Yeah.
It's only a matter of sheer luck, I suppose, that this happened because, first of all the other children got taken away. Yes. Is it highly unlikely that any of those other kids would have returned the gobstopper at the end of the tour? It's highly unlikely, but they were never given the opportunity because they were removed from the tour for breaking the rules. Charlie was not removed from the tour during the tour for breaking the rules. Willy Wonka was clearly aware that he had broken the rules because when the tour was done and he said, "All right, what, Mr. Wonka, when do we get our prize?" And he said, "Oh, you get nothing because you stole fizzy lifting drinks."
Right.
Very
different from fisty living drinks.
Fisty living drinks, those you have to enjoy in the living room and you have to enjoy them with a partner. Yeah. Very different thing. I wanted to make sure I stopped and pronounced it correctly so we know we're talking about fizzy lifting drinks.
Correct.
So, Charlie secretly breaks the rules, which is almost a little more devious, and almost a little more underhanded and devious and naughty than those who were just breaking the rules in front of Willy Wonka's face. Naughty, fisty living drinks.
Very naughty behavior. No presents this year.
No presents this year, Charlie Bucket. So, had he stolen the fizzy lifting drinks before the group had moved on, I think that they would have, lassoed down Grandpa and Charlie from the roof, from the ceiling, and then wheeled them off or carried them off to some other room to get taken care of, and then they would have not been part of the rest of the tour.
Yeah.
The only reason Charlie had even a chance to make it to the end of the tour was because, for some reason, Willy Wonka, though being aware that Charlie had broken the rules, just let him continue on with the tour when everyone else was not allowed to.
But do we really know when he became aware of it?
No, we don't.
He could have become aware of it like right at the end.
So, but the idea is what this is showing you is that the reason that Charlie got rewarded was because he decided to sneakily break the rules.
Right.
And hide it from Willy Wonka, whereas the others just honestly did it in front of him. I don't think that's a good message. I don't think Charlie deserved. Yes, he returned the gobstopper, but the other children never got the opportunity to return the gobstopper like Charlie did.
Right.
I think that Charlie does not deserve to be given the factory. Not to say that the other children on the tour do or did.
Right.
But I think because of that, Charlie does not deserve the outcome he received.
I also think the entire process is ridiculous for the fact that it's like, I'm just going to put golden tickets out there. Any random person can find them. I'm not going to, it's like, there's no interview process other than the tour was the interview process. He's like, I'm going to get a random selection of people to come, and then I'm going to give them this tour that they won't know is the interview process, but it's going to be an interview process. And that's how I'm going to pick my person instead of like actually going out there and trying to select who is going to be the right person for the job. You're just like, let's give it to some random fucking kid.
Yeah. So
if he gives me back the gobstopper I gave him at the beginning of the tour, that'll show me that he is really all about this business.
Or he didn't like the taste of the gobstopper.
Yeah. I mean, he never even tried it.
Well, we don't know that either. But I had the same discussion with someone earlier that the same point you brought up. I mean, had Willy Wonka and his company been observing people that were just selflessly committing good deeds all the time and then awarded them a golden ticket, that would make more sense.
Right.
And what do you think the odds are? Yes, I know Veruca got her ticket because her dad had a whole factory worth of people opening chocolate bars for them. But everyone else, it just so happened to be a kid that got a ticket. No adult got a golden ticket from buying a candy bar. But the whole process
the only adult that got one was the fake one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I said no adult got one, because that wasn't an actual ticket.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm agreeing with you and saying, like, the only time an adult, quote unquote, had gotten one was when it was a fake.
But the whole process of sending out these tickets that you could win by chance by buying the chocolate bar, and the whole goal of going into the factory after winning a golden ticket was to then be awarded a lifetime. Wasn't it that you were awarded a lifetime supply of chocolate if you whatever it was?
Forever since I've watched, I have no idea.
Either way, it's all a greed based system to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I do think that Willy Wonka was very upset with Charlie at the end, just because he had such high hopes for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was so nonchalant about the other kids breaking the rules and having to be carried off. He's like, "Oh no, stop! Oh, I warned you. Well, whatever." But with Charlie, he was very heated, very passionate about how he was very upset that Charlie broke the rules.
It's like, it's like Anakin and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan got so upset because he was the chosen one.
He was supposed to bring balance to the Force, he was supposed to end the Sith, not join them.
Mm-hmm.
I have the upper hand, Anakin. Don't do it, whatever that line is.
Willy Wonka is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Charlie Bucket is Anakin
Skywalker.
So basically, we need to throw Charlie Bucket in some lava.
And then he lands
him to make him into RoboCop.
He just lands near lava, and then the heat just... Do you know that the kid who played Charlie, that's the only movie he was ever in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's good that you knew that, because I also knew that.
Yeah, I did know that.
No further discussion needed on that. Fun fact, only movie he was ever in. Gene Wilder, however, I think he's been in a couple other films.
Yeah, there was a few other films he was in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some good, some not.
Can't speak to anyone else that was in that movie, whether or not they've been in other things.
Also true.
Yeah.
I've never really looked into it.
Anyway, I want the world. I want the whole world.
Is that
all
it?
right, let's it's a blanket statement.
Is this where you start to tell me you have some sort of weird world domination plan? Like,
no. This is just, anyone else that wants to get me. If anyone wants to get me anything for Christmas, I want the world. I want the whole.
That seems like a
world.
shitty present.
Why? What's wrong with the world? You got a problem with the world?
The whole world?
Yeah, you got a problem with that?
That's a lot of responsibility.
Why?
To have the entire world?
Yeah, it's just mine. The people that are running it can still run it, It's just mine, though.
Seems like a lot of work, though, too, to, have to keep track of everything that's happening. People are going to be skimming off the top pretty easily.
I don't have to keep track. My name's just on the deed. That's the only involvement I have. I collect a large chunk off the top.
To change the name of it to Sean's Earth.
No.
Oh.
What am I? What do you think I am? What kind of person do you think I am? I'm going to change the name of the planet?
You could. If you own it, you can do what you want. Yeah,
but so what? If let's say I put in my last will and testament that it's to be given over to my son when I go. Now it has to be changed to Leo's Earth?
If he wants to. He can do that.
Can I call it?
I'm sure there's a lot of legal process behind it, but yeah.
Can I call it Battlefield Earth?
I mean, you could.
Can I salvage that name?
Maybe there there might be some legal issues with that.
I think if I own the Earth, I think I own the right to use any name I want. Anything that's created on the Earth is my property. My right to use it. I can't be accused of plagiarism of any sort. I can't be hit with any kind of copyright claim of any kind. I own everything. I own Disney, Matt.
Oh boy.
I own Disney, Matt. I own Hershey. I mean, I own Exxon. I mean, geez, I own Australia, the business, the company, Australia. Right. Yeah, it's a theater company. Hey, let's get into this dad joke, huh? Shall we? God. The dad joke. We're almost there. It's time for the dad.
We only have one more after this.
Is that right? 2 more?
Well, I guess technically we could 2 more. I guess because we'll record 2 more times before the end of the year, but technically only 1 more episode after this will come out before the end of the year.
Yeah, but I think we shouldn't. I don't think we should skip that week of dad jokes just because the episode will drop after the new year.
I suppose
it's not fair to that last week. We can't. We've come this far.
People will be upset.
People or person will be upset for sure. I'm going to go with a winter themed one.
Okay.
Well, let me do this. Let me cheat. I mean, we're almost done. I'm going to do some honorable mentions first.
Okay.
All right. So this is a little
be better than the fucking actual one you chose.
We'll see. This first one's a little clunky. My dad picked up a can of fly spray. We've all heard of that.
Yeah.
At the hardware store, when the cashier told him it's also good for wasps, he said, "No, it kills them." Honorable mention. What did the candle... You know what? Maybe this is the honorable mention. But it's got to be winter themed. What do you think?
It doesn't have to be.
Okay. So, all right. They're both weak. My snowman threw a temper tantrum. I'm talking complete meltdown.
Okay.
Snowman. Then the last... Snowman, the last second winner here. What did the little candle say to the big candle?
I don't know.
I'm going out tonight.
Was one of those the one you chose for the week, or were those all honorable mentions?
One of them was the one I chose. There was another one that is a joke that many people have heard. I know I've heard it before. I specifically left it out because of that. It was, when does a car stop being a car?
When
it turns into a driveway.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't say that one.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've all heard it. We all know that one.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to bring something new. I needed to bring something fresh to the show. Fresh and new. That's the High School Famous brand. We're fresh and new.
Yeah, we're like
handmade salsa.
We're nib.
We're new in box, yeah.
Wow, that's the first time nib has been actually like said out loud as to what it actually means on this show. That's true. So, everyone, in case anybody never knew from the time we first talked about nib on this show, it was about finding. It was about getting something new in the box that you thought was going to be open box. Like you were ordering it because you were ordering something open box and you accidentally got something new in box. Yeah, and then I called it what? What did I call that? Nib and ob. I called it ob. You talked about nib. No, I called nib slips. Yeah. Yes, and so I said I always scour the internet for nib slips. It was hilarious, and now I'm saying it again because this is sad. In case really anybody tuned in later on and hasn't listened to the old episodes, and you're really missing out because the quality hasn't gotten better. There's more quantity. It's varying levels, so don't touch that dial. I wouldn't say it's gotten necessarily worse. It just hasn't necessarily gotten better. I would agree to that. Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe you know what? Maybe has gotten worse, Matt. I don't know what. Some people's gift experience for the holidays. True. Yeah. What Matt has. Go ahead. What? No. I don't know what I was going to say now. Okay. I was just going to lead us into what we're doing next. Yeah, but you had something. All right. Yep. Mm-hmm. What Matt has compiled or found is what? I'm not talking to you. I'm
just saying your name because you're the one who found this stuff.
I'm following along. I'm here.
Then quit saying what. That's not the sign of someone following along. If you have to say what, that means you're not following along and you're not keeping up and you need stuff repeated.
I'm here. I gotcha. I am fully engaged.
What someone that isn't me has done has found a couple of lists. Some are our assistant. It's our research team. Our research team has scoured the internet. Once they found all the nib slips you can find, they then found these lists of the worst Christmas present you have ever received. I know the list I will be referencing is from Reddit. Is yours also Reddit?
Yep.
All right, so
Two
we will
different
go
Reddit lists.
Yeah, so we're going to go through and read some of these stories of the worst Christmas presents people have received. If we feel that they're juicy enough, we'll maybe even delve into the comments on them. So this is what we're gonna. This is what you're in store for. This is the final episode before Christmas. This is what you get from us.
Yeah, we have not pre-read these lists. We've sorted them by best, hoping that they're really the best. We'll see.
We hope Reddit knows what it's doing.
I mean, best doesn't necessarily mean it is the best story. It just means it's gotten the most upvotes and comments and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So we don't really know what we're in store for right now. So we will apologize ahead of time if these are awful. That's about it. Then we're just gonna kind of read through these and see if we agree or disagree on if any of these are bad presents. You know, one man's trash is another man's treasure, as they say. I think that's an Oscar the Grouch quote.
You think so?
Yeah.
An original Oscar the Grouch.
Mm-hmm.
It might as well be. I mean, I don't think we have the identity of whoever did come up with that quote. Whoever first coined that term. I'll
probably
go first. I'll go, probably a hoarder like Oscar the Grouch. Well, I mean, not necessarily a hoarder, but if you're someone who lives in a trash can, you're probably often looking through trash for things to eat or wear.
Right.
Or both. All right, so let's go. This is from 2 years ago, and now it says deleted. I don't know why it says
deleted would just be the account that posted it is deleted.
Ah, yes. So I
don't know if we care to say the names of the Reddit users that have posted these, or we're just going to read the stories. And
I think we'll just worry about the stories.
All right.
Considering we may run into a scenario where there is no user name posted. My husband's stepmother gave me a 36-year-old at the time. Hold on. Let me reread that first part. There are some commas in here which help. My husband's stepmother gave me a 36-year-old at the time, as in the recipient.
Okay.
A kindergarten-size backpack, and when I opened it, she said, I actually bought that for a child a few years ago, and she hated it, so I threw it in a closet and saw it and thought you'd like it. None of us did. We all think it's ugly.
What a weird, to me, that is, mother-in-law fucked up and forgot to get her something. Yeah. And then saw that and said, well, let me get rid of this. If she would have put stuff in it that would have actually been a decent gift, then it'd be I don't know.
So what's worse? Let's say you're the mother-in-law, or wait, no, my husband's stepmother, I guess mother-in-law. So let's say you're the mother-in-law. Does it look worse for you to have gone out and bought this kindergarten-sized backpack with the intent to give it to her, or that you are someone who bought it for a child initially and they hated it, so you threw it in a closet, then decided to gift it to the adult later?
I think I think what happened is worse, because then at least if she would have went out and bought it specifically for this woman, then at least it seems like she put at least some thought into the fact that she was she'll probably like this. But the fact that she's just nope, I've had this sitting in my closet for a few years and just... It was, a small backpack that was just taking up too much room in my closet. Needed to get rid of it.
I clearly got you nothing else.
Yeah.
This is the only option I had for a gift for you.
It's literally I got you nothing, so here, take this. That's literally what it is. In that sense, I would rather you just didn't get me anything.
Yeah.
Just exclude me in full, because that's more of an insult.
That's definitely worse than if they would have just bought the bag for them initially.
Yeah.
I agree.
For sure.
But like you said, it would have been great had she thought, but again, this is the gift that she didn't get anything. So it maybe would have been passable, although still odd. Still questions would have come up. But if she would have bought the bag and, like you said, filled it with things that would have been useful or appropriate for that person. But again, then if you're already buying other things, why give the backpack at all?
Yeah. It's like, in that case, if all you're doing is like, I want to get rid of this thing in my house, I didn't buy her anything, then it's like, well, just put other things in it that are also just around your house then. Like a bar of soap, or just like as rude as it is to buy somebody a bar of soap for Christmas, but especially it's useful.
Especially an ex-con, how dare you?
Like the bar of soap at least would have probably been used. Like, what do you do with a kindergartner's backpack?
Why would you give someone a used bar of soap?
I didn't say used.
You said the bar of soap would have been used.
Would have been useful.
No, you said used. But anyway, that's the only reason I was able to say what I did.
I was saying the bar of soap would have been used by the person who received it. Yes,
I know what you mean. Come on. Okay. Give me that. Jeez. There's more to this. There's more to this.
There's more to this story?
She did buy gifts for some people, though. Okay. So it says, that same year, they gave my 3 kids gifts, totaling altogether $15 with the clearance stickers on them, while her biological granddaughter opened a $300 unicorn, which they made sure we knew cost $300. And then they pointed out to everyone our clearance stickers and what great deals they were. And then they made my kids leave the room so the granddaughter could take pics alone with her unicorn. It was the last Christmas we visited them.
I would say so.
LOL. So if we want to, this one has 39 replies.
Oh boy.
If we don't want to, it has 39 replies.
Read just a couple.
All right. I'll hit the plus sign to expand. All right. Let's read the top one. I had grandparents like that. My dad adopted me and his parents adopted him. I'd get a $20 book and they'd tell me about all the wonderful gifts they'd gotten their real grandchildren. They were the only paternal grandparents I'd ever known. I was 3 when I met them. Let's see.
People suck.
Yeah. Wow, that present is bad on itself, but why did they think it was okay to include that note as well? It's just cruel. I think this is a reply to another comment and not the story.
Okay.
Grandma got me a dollar store electric toothbrush. Y'all know that thing didn't even turn on. 2,500 upvotes. 19 more replies on that comment.
Well, let's not dig too deep.
A dish towel. I was 8 years old. All right, yeah, let's. All right, your turn.
All right. My grandmother was a piece of work. One year, myself and my 2 cousins were at her house for Christmas morning. All of the family was there, and there was a big, gorgeous pile of presents wrapped in the corner. We, me and my cousins, were promptly told that those gifts were for the other grandchildren. When we gave our grandma the blank stare of confused children, she hurried back into her room, threw a Ziploc bag down on the ground between us, full of half-used nail polish and broken jewelry, and told us Merry Christmas.
Now, those would have been great inside of a small backpack.
Yeah.
And not a Ziploc.
Yep. She didn't put a lot of thought into that. But
not at all.
For what other, so the other grandchildren that weren't there, like these are still her grandchildren.
I don't know. I can't see the story you're looking at, so I can't clarify.
Well, yeah, it says my grandmother was a real piece of work. Myself and 2 of my cousins were at her house Christmas morning, but the pile of presents was for the other grandchildren. So it's like these are still her grandchildren, but she bought great presents for the other grandchildren that weren't there with her on Christmas morning.
Yeah.
But the ones that were there with her on Christmas morning got nothing.
I am having a hard time buying this one. The only thing I can think of, maybe the grandma and the grandpa had married and each of them had their own separate children already. So maybe these were grandchildren from his side that were at their house, and then the grandchildren that the presents were from her side. Maybe that's the only thing I can sort of think of is why there would be presents for some of the grandchildren and not all of them. All right. So this one's kind of long. All right. 2 years ago, also, it says edited 2 years ago. So I was dating a guy for a few months when Christmas rolled around. He had recently started a new job that required travel, and this was before smartphones and built-in GPS in your car were common. So I splurged a bit and got him a Garmin to help him find his way. Thoughtful, useful, but not too sentimental. It felt perfect for where the relationship was at the time. Due to the schedules, we couldn't get together until a few days after Christmas. In my haste to go to see him, I walked right out the door without his gift. I didn't realize it until I got to his house, and I felt terrible, but he said, "No worries, I'll give you your gifts now, and I'll just get mine later." Cool. So he goes into the other room and comes back with 2 wrapped gifts. I noticed some of the paper was messed up like it had been rewrapped, but didn't think much of it in the moment. I carefully unwrapped the first package. It was a MMA magazine that had clearly been read. I was confused. Okay. I do not like MMA. I do not like it on a train. Not even a little bit. Nor have I ever expressed interest in MMA. Not once. He, on the other hand, loved all things MMA. Trying to move on, I politely thanked him and set the magazine down and refocused on the next gift. I could tell it was a DVD from the shape of the package. And indeed, it was a DVD. A Forrest Gump DVD, with the cellophane wrapper missing. Now, don't get me wrong, Forrest Gump is a solid choice, except I already owned a Forrest Gump DVD. And now here I was suddenly the proud owner of a second copy that appeared used. I again thanked him and sat there quietly, trying to wrap my head around how he could have arrived at the conclusion that a used magazine on a topic I didn't like and a secondhand DVD of something I already owned would make a good Christmas gift. He also got a little quiet, then sheepishly volunteered, "I got bored, so I watched the movie yesterday. I just stared. And then I hadn't seen that issue yet, so I went ahead and read through it. I think you'll really like it." I slowly responded.
As clueless as fuck.
Yeah, I know. I slowly responded. "So you got me a magazine because you wanted to read it, and then watch the movie you got me because you were bored?" His only response was, "Well, yeah, I guess so." I left not long after. The next day, I returned the Garmin for a full refund. About a week later, he called and said he didn't think it was working out. "No problem," I said. "I don't think it's working out either." As we were wrapping up the call, expressing well wishes and all that, he paused for a beat and said, "Hey, were you still going to give me that Christmas present?"
What a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy.
What a dude. I mean,
he literally bought himself a movie and a magazine and then went, "Oh, I didn't buy her anything."
Do you think that's what it was?
What year was this? Forrest Gump? Come on.
I know it says 2 years ago. First of all, Forrest Gump. Second of all, DVD.
Right.
Yeah. So
I mean, the story doesn't necessarily mean that they wrote it the year it happened. They're just telling a story about a time. So
yeah, let me see. It doesn't. It just says I was dating a guy for a few months when Christmas rolled around. So this doesn't.
Yeah.
So clearly, this means this was a past Christmas from maybe a few years ago.
Either way, Forrest Gump. By the time DVDs rolled around, I mean, Forrest Gump was probably a pretty fresh movie at the time DVDs first came out.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but the movie itself, you know,
timeless.
It's it's about a very shaky relationship between two people where she constantly takes advantage of and abuses the fact that he loves her so much, and she just runs off and is with a bunch of other men throughout the whole movie, and then shows up at his door when she has a kid that's his and is also dying and says, "I'll stay with you now." So great, even if that was a brand new in cellophane DVD, maybe not a good movie to get a significant other as a first Christmas gift.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I'm a good pointer.
All right. Ex-girlfriend gave me a book on the history of gunpowder. I admit I enjoyed it as it was an interesting read. Problem was, I had already read it 2 months prior because she had already given me a copy as my birthday gift.
Oh no.
That's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah. My son, I believe, if I'm remembering the story correctly, has received the same book series from the same person twice.
I mean, is that person a very significant part of his life?
I mean, not as much as others, but
okay, because that's what I'm wondering. Like,
it is in the family.
It could just be something they forgot.
Yeah, but anyway, China, yes, gunpowder invented China, I believe.
I haven't read the book. I don't know.
So the story, I was hoping the story was yours.
Why?
I don't know. You haven't read the book. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know the history of gunpowder, but yeah, I do believe that's China. I think the correct answer.
Yeah. Let's see. Should I do a really, really, really short one or another sort of lengthy one?
Just go down the
list. All right.
Yeah.
When I was 10 years old, my grandparents gave me an unwrapped suitcase for Christmas. In the interests of convenience, they used that suitcase for the wrapped presents for my sisters. So they traveled, put all of the sisters' presents inside the suitcase, and then decided to take them out and probably realized they didn't get him anything,
right?
Or him or her, and then wrapped the suitcase.
Oh no, the suitcase was unwrapped.
Oh, you're right, an unwrapped suitcase. That's right.
Yeah, so they're just like, have this suitcase.
Wow,
it works great. We've used it.
Yeah, we've used it a lot. I don't know that all they said was in the interest of convenience, they used it for the wrapped presents for the sisters. Does that mean that when they gave them the suitcase, they open it and then the presents for the siblings are inside still?
Possibly that, or they when they brought it into the house, they unloaded all the presents.
Yeah.
And people probably thought like, oh, they were just using this suitcase for the convenience of bringing all the presents.
They probably even had
we don't want to take this suitcase back home with us.
They probably even had the grandkid unload the presents for them. Oh, here, do us a favor. Yeah. Take these presents out of here and then set that suitcase in
and then put that
dumpster
suitcase in your room because that's yours.
Put a tag on it with your name and say "Merry Christmas, love, Grandma and Grandpa."
When you come to visit Grandma and Grandpa, you use that suitcase and then you leave it behind because that's our suitcase. We want it back.
Yeah, that's their way of getting it back. Wow. All right.
Buy yourself a new suitcase while you're out here.
Wow, 170 replies, it says.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if I want to jump into this.
Yeah, I don't think we can get too deep into all these replies.
No, I don't think so either.
All right, my next story. It was the first Christmas my father and current stepmother had together. My step-siblings each got a new laptop computer. I got a $20 gift card to McDonald's. There's a couple edits here. One edit was they changed some redundant word that they must have actually edited out, so I don't know what it was. And edit 2, I guess I should provide a bit more detail on the situation. I like my current stepmother way more than I like my dad.
I thought he was going to say, I like McDonald's.
Earlier that year, my previous stepmom, dad's wife number 3, my mother was number 2, screwed my dad over royally and put him tens of thousands of dollars in debt, and he wanted to impress her by gifting nice shit to her kids. He didn't have enough money to treat us all to nice electronics. I have 2 sisters, so we 3 were just an afterthought. Young me thought it was bullshit, and more resentment towards him was added to the pile. But as I got older, I kind of see what he was trying to do. It was just really shitty execution on his part. Yeah.
I like that you misspoke and that it's like, oh, I thought it was bullshit. And more resentment words.
Yeah. I wish that's what it actually had said.
That would have been amazing. So this is like another one. It's similar to one of these other stories. They give certain kids great stuff, and then now this is the opposite. He's giving not his own child nice things,
right?
But giving the stepmom's children nice things.
Yeah, but it's like he's like trying to. He said he did it to try to impress her. Like he wanted to impress her by giving her nice. But she's already the stepmom. They're already married.
They're already married. You don't have to try to impress them anymore. Yeah, you stop trying. When you're married, you stop trying.
Well, it's not that you stop trying, but it's like you've already got this person. How are you trying to impress? Let me impress. Like this person already is going to know like your money situation at that point if you're married.
I sense
Unless
a
you just
hoe.
lie.
They could have been, they could be very secretive about their money situation. I know people that have been like that in marriages.
Yeah.
All right, we've got another one. This time I was really into Green Day and the emerging alternative music of the mid-90s. And my mom bought me a few CDs back when CDs were something stupid like $20 each. Wow, awesome gift. Except the CDs were Toni Braxton and Mariah Carey and something else I've completely forgotten. Oh, then they go on to other examples of bad gifts.
That they got, or just in general?
I'll just keep going. Or the Christmases when my brother would get a pile of presents or something pretty expensive, foosball table, air hockey table, etc., game tables, and I'd get a couple books and lip gloss. I love those things. So the gifts themselves weren't bad, but I was clearly not the favorite child. In the aftermath of gift opening, Mom would look at the pile my brother got and the few gifts I got, then make a big show of stomping around the house, claiming she knows she got more for me. She must have misplaced all the other gifts. Without fail, for several years in a row, she misplaced my gifts because she realized in the moment that she spent way more on my brother than me. Never once did she find these misplaced gifts. And to make it worse, my birthday is shortly after Christmas, so I never got much for my birthday because the budget was blown on Christmas. My brother claims he remembers me getting shitty birthday gifts, and I was always jealous of his. I don't have any memory of that, but it very well could be. The worst birthday was the year I only got a Bible with my name stamped on the front in golden lettering. That's a birthday I remember quite clearly.
I think we all remember that birthday.
Yeah.
I've never gotten a Bible.
That's the 12th birthday.
Yeah.
Anniversaries have, various, like, this is the silver year, this is the wood year. Age 12 it's the Bible year.
Oh.
The golden lettered Bible year.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, your parents don't love you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
No, I remember to bring in talk about a bad Christmas gift that I got once. I got it very, very much after Christmas because it was like an exchange thing where you like pick names and then you get each other presents or whatever. So the person who had my name just didn't, just took their time, didn't get me anything until like well after Christmas. I finally got it, and it was a Bon Jovi CD.
Ooh, which one?
I don't even remember.
Did it have Living on a Prayer?
Probably not. I don't even think it was like a popular Bon Jovi CD. I'm just like, what? Like I opened it. I'm just like, what made them think I would like this?
Yeah, you have to kind of sort. Did you know who it was? Like at the time? Okay, yeah. I didn't know if it was like a secret Santa thing or something.
No. Like I knew. Like that's how I knew I was waiting for it, and I'm just like,
oh.
And then at the end, I'm just like, what made them think this was like? Did they? Like, if you don't know what to get if you don't know what to get for someone, you kind of ask people that are close to them, like, hey, what do you think they would like this, that, or whatever? Like almost any other CD, I would have been like totally stoked to get, but I'm just like, I don't even know.
Like another one of Bon Jovi CDs?
No, but like, I don't think I ever opened it. I think I ended up just like when I got rid of all my CDs and sold them to whatever. I think it just ended up in that pile and got sold off.
Do you think that the person was asking around and they asked someone that was like, oh, this would be a funny joke. Oh, yeah, let's get Matt. Let's get him a Bon Jovi CD. No?
No.
Okay.
No, they just didn't. They just made a huge assumption. And
are you sure it wasn't a white elephant gift?
Nope.
Have you ever gotten a white elephant gift that you're like, yeah, no one's going to want this, and then a bunch of people want it? Because you don't, because you think it's dumb, but other people love it. The way my family did white elephant was, it was my dad's family. So when we'd always get together, the full family, all the aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff, and everybody brought everything was just crazy gag gifts. Like you'd find stuff around your house or you'd make something ridiculous, and then it got to the point where some of the stuff
was a lot of like reoccurring themes every year, like certain pictures of people started coming back in different forms and different stuff like that. So everything was crazy gag gifts, and all the presents are in the middle of the room. We'd all sit in a big circle, and then we'd set a timer, and you'd roll dice. And if you got doubles, you'd take one. I know people play it differently. Some people probably do play it this way, but you roll a double, you take a present. It goes until you don't set a timer first. You just go until all the presents are gone first. Then you set a timer, and the dice go around again. And now if you get a double, you get to get rid of a gift. So essentially you want to have nothing.
Is it just, okay, so because I think the one or two times I did it, I remember, I think the second round was like, if you roll doubles, you don't you can swap with someone. You don't just get rid of what you have, you can swap.
No, yeah, so this is, if you roll a double, you get rid of one, but if you don't have one, then you have to take one from somebody else as it keeps going around. And then when it's all said and done, the timer goes off. Then usually if somebody ends up with nothing, then like whoever has the most, like, will give it, so everybody has at least one thing to open. So you'll kind of give away one present. So everybody has at least one thing, but yeah, all of our, because I know some white elephants are like goofy gifts, or like sometimes it's a useful gift or whatever. People just kind of like buy whatever. It's like maybe you have a budget and it's like stuff like that. But these in my family were all like shit around your house you wanted to get rid of, or some crazy, wacky, embarrassing thing you want to, like, you want to embarrass a person in the family. So you like make something with their face on it or whatever. And it would get pretty crazy.
I remember my son was involved one year with a white elephant thing with Sarah's family, and he was very excited because the gift he picked out was a whoopee cushion, but he wanted it to be so that he ended up with it. So we sort of were like, yeah, whoever had it, it was like, hey, give that one to Leo, because he wanted to end up with it. In the end, he ends up with the whoopee cushion, and then he's so excited about it. And then someone else at the party sits on the whoopee cushion and pops the whoopee cushion. And it was broken immediately. Poor dude.
Oh, well, it had a fun story either way.
Yeah. Then what the white elephant gift that I got for that, which is something I thought everyone would hate because I thought it was dumb, was just a friend's hat.
And people wanted it.
People wanted that thing. I'm like, this is like an $8 hat. I got it at Target. You could go over to the Target right now, and there's plenty of them. You can go get your own friend's hat. You don't have to vie for this free friend's hat. I ended up with, which I think is still unopened, is Cards Against Humanity.
Okay.
Because I think by that
decent one, but like,
yeah, but I think by that time the game was kind of on a little bit on the older side, and you know our friends. We don't. None of them want to play. Even that's a little, that game is slightly obscure, but they don't want to play non-obscure games that people have heard of. You know them,
right?
I have when I moved, I remembered that I had like a case that has poker chips and decks of cards in it for playing poker. I'm like, man, I wish I had someone to play this with, because no one I hang out with would ever play poker. Because
I have a really nice chessboard.
Yeah.
That's barely ever been touched. I've had that thing for 15 plus years. Well, I've probably used it 3 times.
You never asked me to play chess.
Well, hey, next time you're in town, we can play chess.
We could.
Yeah.
We could do that. We could play chess.
What's the worst gift you've ever gotten?
I was trying to think about...
Worse than Bon Jovi CD?
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess you could say... I'm really trying to think back. I mean... One time I had a list of video games that I wanted for the Wii. Mm-hmm. And I remember my mom, rather than getting any of those, she got Surf's Up, which, that it's like the Penguin movie.
Oh, what the fuck?
But it was the video game of that movie.
That was probably the only copy of that game ever sold.
Yeah, so I don't know what got in her mind. Like,
did you ever play it?
This. I think I opened it and popped it in. Yeah, it was awful. The only other thing, which is, it's cool in its own way, and it's, I mean, now that my grandma is long gone, it's kind of like there's more of a sentimental link to it. But my dad's mom would always just send us usually around June-ish, she would send us our box of Christmas gifts.
Right.
And it was just one giant cardboard box, and there was no labeling of, well, this is Sean's gift, and this is Chris's gift, and this is, Dan's gift. It was just, here's a box of stuff. Whatever you want.
Distribute it how you want.
Distribute it how you want. And so I'd have just like, I still have these like slippers or booties, whatever you want to call them. They're these weird knit green and white like slippers that I know they have been on my feet, but I don't know for how long. I never bust open the drawer and go, oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. My feet are a little cold. Let me warm them up with these things.
I know they've been on my feet, but I don't know for how long.
I mean, I know
it's gonna be 5 hours.
I know I got knitted a sweater once, and it just like had a sun on the front with like a smiley face, probably. But that's not a bad gift. It was just like as a kid, I was like, oh, I don't like this sweater. This is an ugly sweater. Yeah. So I didn't appreciate it. They made it. It wasn't like they bought it.
Right.
So that you guys can't really count
that. If it could fit you now, you'd probably be like, yeah, I'd fucking wear that sweater.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. Let me pop that thing
on.
An
awesome sweater.
It's August. Let me throw that sunshine sweater on.
Hell yeah.
Let me cut the sleeves off for the summer.
You got to knit the sleeves off, Sean.
You knit them off?
Yeah. You can't cut a knit sweater. It'll come unraveled. You have to unknit it.
You have to de-knit it?
Mm-hmm. All right.
Back
to these damn stories.
Yeah. It's it's my turn? Whose turn is it?
This is mine.
Okay. That's what I thought.
This is a short one. It's literally one sentence. Book about how to take criticism, gifted by my mother-in-law.
Wow.
Yeah. There's several comments, but the first comment is, this seems like an easy one to throw back in her face. Let me critique your gift-giving ability.
Nice. Does that book exist?
What book?
Let me critique your gift-giving ability?
No, I think it's just they're saying, like, that was a quote. Like, that's the quote they could say about
Do you,
the gift.
I remember, I don't know if there's a message behind this gift or not, but I just remember that year, I think I've told you about it before, but speaking of poker, I got a book about all these different ways to play poker, which, is considered a social game.
Yep.
And then my sister got a book of how many ways to play solitaire.
Yep.
I
don't
still
know.
think
That's hilarious.
I don't know if my parents had some kind of secret message behind that gift, or if it was just like, we're getting Sean a book on card games. Let's get Steph a book on card games too.
Right.
I mean, maybe no one would have thought anything of it had I not pointed out that those things, All right, let's. Are you jumping into more comments, or are we gonna jump onto my story?
No. That one comment is plenty.
This one's quite short. The little tag at the end is what seals it. The year I gave my ex-husband, and I don't know how to pronounce this, Tag-ur watch.
Okay.
Is that how you say it? Hueur. I think it's Tag-ur. Anyway, the year I gave my ex-husband a Tag-ur watch, he gave me a 1999 Walmart blender. We already had 3 blenders.
What? Why did you already have 3 blenders?
It could be that maybe these are gifts he's gotten her in previous years. I don't know.
He just continues to give her blenders. By the way, never give an appliance to somebody for Christmas unless they specifically ask for it. To me, that's such a shit gift to give somebody. Like, here, go make me something. It's like that to me is how it comes off, because it's like, you don't give exercise equipment to anyone unless they specifically ask for it, because that's just it's insulting. Don't give them something to do in the kitchen.
What about?
Don't buy somebody a vacuum. Like,
can I give someone deodorant?
Yes and no to that, because because there's a thing about giving practical gifts that makes sense to me. Like, hey, these are things that you would need to use in your daily life anyways. So it's like, hey, you don't have to go buy this now. Stuff like that. Like, I get stuff like that. I'll get for Christmas. Like, you get deodorant or, toothbrushes for Christmas. There's like, those are like stocking stuffer things to me.
Yeah.
Like, don't buy deodorant and then wrap it for somebody, put it under the tree. Like, that's stupid. But like, as a stocking stuffer, yeah,
sure.
Hands down. Somebody buys me deodorant as a stocking stuffer, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to use this. Perfect.
I love deodorant.
I don't have to go to that's one less thing I have to go get from the store later when I run out of my current tube,
Tube?
Well, I don't know. What do you call that? What do you call this thing? A tube?
People call it a stick of deodorant.
I mean, it doesn't look like a stick.
Someone said, so did you make him take all the blenders in the divorce settlement? And they replied and said, LOL, yes. I didn't take any of them. So Mr. Ex-husband got all 4 blenders in the divorce. He's probably like, yes, score. I can make 4 smoothies at once.
He was intentionally buying them so that
yeah. This is my plan.
He was using them.
Here's my plan. I'm going to keep buying her blenders until she gets so pissed she divorces me, and then she gives them to me. Then I will own 4 blenders. It's like, great.
Yeah.
You could have just went out and bought 4 blenders.
Yeah.
And you would have been able to keep them then without the aspect. Maybe it was a secret way to also get divorced. Like this is his plans all
maybe
along.
He was already out at that point. He's like, I need this relationship to end, but I'm not going to do it.
He's already got 1 foot in the blender.
You know, the common phrase.
What?
That 1 foot in the blender. The common phrase.
I just made it up.
Moving on. Growing up, my mom was either amazing at holidays, birthdays, etc., or scary. You know, those two opposites, amazing and scary. One year when I was about 13, she was particularly scary.
How are you about 13?
I know. I was trying to breeze past it. You know, that age of about 13. We didn't have a tree. No decorations were up. Nothing. We were all too afraid to say anything in case one of us set her off. Until my dad got pissed at her, went and bought a tree and told us to decorate it however we wanted. He helped us with the lights and star, while my mom sulked in her room. Her room, she has her own room?
Yeah.
Christmas Eve came, and under the tree there were these large, bulky-looking presents. We were all excited to open them because we got one present to open Christmas Eve, and we all knew there was no way those were pajamas. We all opened them excited to find huge lumps of coal. My youngest sibling.
Whoa.
My youngest sibling began to cry. My dad sent all of us downstairs to watch Christmas movies on TV and locked himself and my mom in their bedroom. It was muffled, but that is honestly the only time I remember my dad ever screaming at my mother. Afterwards, he came downstairs and calmed my younger sibling down, reassured them that they had been good and Santa would still come. After the kids had gone to bed, like you're one of them, had gone to bed, my dad called me upstairs and asked me to help him wrap all the presents except mine. The next morning, my mom was up early, made us cinnamon rolls. Hers are the best I've ever had, and acted as if nothing had happened. I don't know exactly what my dad said, but she was never that bad again, even though there were times she came close. Years later, she finally agreed to see someone about it, and they diagnosed her as manic depressive. The doctor said that stress had triggered her, and honestly, that had been a stressful year for our family. Since she was treated, she's been the most amazing mother and grandmother ever, and it makes me sad she didn't get help sooner. We would have had the most amazing childhoods, and luckily my nephews and nieces got to have this version of mom instead of what we had.
Well, Matt, that was sad and heavy. I don't like that story.
I know. These are supposed to be funny. Yeah, like what the fuck? Like it's crazy though, just of like
way to bring down the room Reddit poster.
Well, what's crazy is like she was in a depressive state, so she didn't decorate the house in any way. But to get pissed off that the rest of the family was decorating the house,
that's a little strange.
To put big giant boxes under the tree full of coal. Like she had to in a manic depressive state, went out and collected coal.
Yeah, you have to obtain coal.
Yeah, people don't just have coal sitting around.
You don't go over to your neighbors to borrow a cup of coal.
That's dedication.
Yes.
To be that upset that your family's trying to enjoy Christmas that you go out and obtain coal. It's kind of impressive.
If I was actually, I would be very grateful if I was actually given coal as a gift on Christmas.
Yeah. It's useful. I don't know what the going rate for coal is, but you could resell it.
Most people, I imagine, if you are given coal, you're not there's a use for it, but you're not going to be able to take advantage of it and use it.
Right. Not many people have old locomotives.
Yeah, so knock it off.
Yeah, or, most people aren't, most people's furnaces nowadays are natural gas.
Just donate it to the railroad company.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it to your local train station.
I'm not sure how much the railroad companies are using coal nowadays.
Wasn't Trump like trying to revitalize the use of coal? Is that something that was really happening?
Who knows?
I don't know.
I believe it.
A lot of people that pay attention to this sort of thing. So probably millions of people know.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Let's see. What? Okay. Okay. Someone got a set of miniature butter knives with ceramic fruit and vegetables as the handles from an aunt who said that I was so hard to shop for. I was 7.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
It's really not hard to shop for a 7-year-old.
No, but even if they are, it's like,
well, you can just walk down the toy aisle and stick your arm out and knock some stuff into the cart, and the kid's gonna like it.
Yeah, way more than ceramic knives with fruits and vegetable handles.
I feel like
so hard to shop for.
They took that out of their drawer and just
they got them as a gift a few years ago and decided, oh, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to get rid of these. It was probably
like a bad wedding gift they had gotten.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the person at their wedding said, "You guys are so hard to shop for."
Right.
Well, did you look at our registry?
Of course not.
Of course not. I fly by the seat of my pants. I fly the seat of other people's pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walk a mile in your shoes. I don't know what that.
I'll walk a mile in my pants, would you?
Yeah. This person got a set of salt and pepper shakers. The gifts were donated to us, and I don't know how they forgot my parents had 4 kids. There's a comment that's 5 times as long as that.
Great. Let's hear it.
This person says, "Oh God, flashbacks to the donated gift program. I grew up in group homes, and that's usually where we got Christmas gifts. I'm not trying to sound ungrateful here. I'm really not. But some people never freaking read the descriptions. Some highlights over the years. I asked for some clothing and gave my shirt and pant sizes. They gave me them in toddler sizes. I was a teenager at the time. People don't realize that teenagers can be in group homes too, I guess. So, or that I was the one who wrote the note and not my parent and not the parents. A crochet kit that was already used. It was missing the hook. One time someone tried to be really nice and fulfill the expensive gift on my wish list, a specific video game I wanted. They got the Xbox 360 version when the house had a Wii. For the record, I did specify which one we had. Someone meant well, but wasn't very knowledgeable. And a weird porcelain doll. Let's ignore the fact I'm about as tomboy as they come. Those are banned, and I stayed where I stayed due to being easily breakable. That was the only gift I got that year, and it had to be taken away immediately.
So ungrateful.
That was it.
All right. That was good. That was a good story. That was a great story.
Yeah.
Do you think in Canada it's pronounced story?
No.
Oh. This is interesting. Not really, but the comments may be better, but a comic book that was lying around the house for several months, which I read twice in this period. I didn't know it was supposed to be my surprise present. So that's not really a bad gift they're getting. It was just unknowingly discovered their gift.
Yeah,
well in advance.
Yeah, badly hidden.
Yeah. All right. So the comments are probably like
same.
Yeah, same. Anyway, that's it. That's it for that one. Super short, big, great story.
Okay. I was 16. I was doing my art GCSE, and I kept taking the scissors from the kitchen because it involved a lot of cutting and sticking. My mom got super annoyed with me. I had 2 older brothers. One had recently moved into uni, so he got some sheets with a world map on it, something he was very interested in at the time, and an expensive rucksack for his uni work. The other brother had recently landed a new job, So he got some posh shoes and some merino wool jumpers, sweaters for those who don't know what a jumper is. In total, their presents probably cost about 100 to 200 pounds each. All of them were beautifully wrapped. Me? I got handed a plastic bag. Inside was a 3-pound pair of scissors. I received nothing else that Christmas.
Hey, I'm a member of the police. Can I attempt to talk down your jumper?
I was gonna make some sort of comment about the fact that when we talked about talking down jumpers, we had mentioned that they were. I was talking about interrogators, and then just jumped right into talking about being a negotiator without ever transitioning to negotiator.
Yes, we all remember that.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got here?
Hard to re-listen to that and not and know. And just be like,
all right, this was actually a recent one. The post is from 2 years ago. So anyway, been with my girlfriend for like 2 to 3 years now. Her family considers me a part of their family, but my girlfriend's mom and aunt are probably the most hypocritical and batshit insane people you could ever meet. Aunt believes that if you use a GPS, you are a bitch that doesn't deserve to live in that state. She proceeded to get everyone lost when she was driving us around on vacation. She lives in Florida for 27 years by that time. The mom is a manipulative narcissist that actually said to my girlfriend and a mutual friend of ours that the only reason she has my girlfriend around is because she is the person that she uses to let her anger out on. An example, yells about nonsensical crap, pushes her, or makes her feel like she is worth nothing 24/7. For Christmas, I went over to my girlfriend's home to celebrate with them before celebrating with my girlfriend at my house. Got a present from the aunt who sent something over. I received a single rubber duck that had the bottom torn out. A note was stuffed in the opening, and on that note was the sentence, "If you are reading this, you killed the birdie." And a painted rock that was just painted black with the words "Best Buds" on it.
What the fuck?
I don't know what's happening. The mom was the worst one, though. I got a nutcracker. I didn't fully understand it at the time, but I finally got it when my girlfriend's dad took me aside and said in a hushed tone, "I'm sorry for the gift, but Trey has given that to their eldest daughter's boyfriends as a threat." That's right. I got a broken rubber duck that blamed me for killing it, a painted rock, and a threat that if I did anything to hurt my girlfriend, that her mother will use the nutcracker.
These are crazy people.
Yes.
Like,
I wonder.
Just don't. Just don't. The rock to me is more confusing than anything. I mean, the duck.
I know. Best Buds.
Best Buds. Like, how do you give somebody a duck that's with a note that says you killed it and then a Best Buds rock? Like, what the fuck? All
right. I don't particularly like this comment. Like, it's not particularly clever, but it's anyway. Next Christmas, you should get her a box containing 2 whole nuts and that nutcracker she got you, but broken. She ain't cracking you. And then someone said, "Hold on, is it the?"
Great
oh
comment.
Yeah, the person who commented originally the original poster replied, "This is actually a really good idea."
Oh, so this poster sucks too. All right, cool.
Yes. And then someone said, "But now the nutcracker is in your hands. You're unstoppable."
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is like she gave you the weapon that she was going to use against you.
Yeah.
So it's like somebody going in to rob a convenience store and then asking them to hold the gun while they stuff the money in the bag.
Right. Yeah, I got to use 2 hands for this. So just hang on to this. Yeah. Cool.
All right, that one's boring, so I'm going to skip it. It's short, too, so I'm just going to skip it.
Wait, you're skipping one, then I'll...
Well, okay. Do you want... Okay.
No, it doesn't matter. No.
All right. What?
Don't read it.
Okay.
It's boring.
All right. Every year, my grandma would send me clothing for a 6-year-old. Seems like the concept of my brother and I actually growing escaped her. After a few years of this, my mom got tired of her wasting her money on this and told her to just send my mom the money and she would buy the gift. Just send a card. All right. Well, that one wasn't any better than the one I skipped. So,
I'll start filtering them out too. Here's a good one. A pencil. No, that's not. Okay.
Nailed it.
I've got 3 more on my without clicking on view more comments.
Okay.
So I'll just jump into this one.
A pretty long list still.
A Lamborghini calendar. My brother got a guitar and amp. My 2 sisters got a bike each. Fuck, I hate Lamborghinis now. That's it. That's the story. 11,000 upvotes.
Oh, nice. This one says, I'm going to answer for my sister. When I was about 5, making her 9, our uncle/aunt/cousin family asked me what my sister liked. I had no idea. All I knew was she liked to yell at me. So I dumbly replied that she likes hair ties. For Christmas that year, my sister received an assortment of an insanely high number, like 200 different different high ties, okay, scrunchies, etc. She didn't let me live it down for a long time.
Okay. All right. You'll like this one.
All right.
I participated in a voluntary office Christmas exchange in 2012 with a $30 limit. My gift was a CDR of the giver's favorite album. I was less than enthused, but nonetheless slid the disc into my car to check it out, only to find that it was blank. The person had only written the band and album name on the disc, but forgot to actually burn a copy. By the way, it was supposed to be the album Spit by Kitty.
Oh, no. No. You could have found that somewhere for $5. You could have found that for cheaper than the
CD,
CDR
the blank
cost.
Yeah. I would have been thankful that it was actually not on the disc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have been grateful.
Oh, I have a blank disc I can use.
Yeah. I could just relabel it.
Yeah. That
glorious.
To me is the equivalent of somebody saying, here, you throw this away.
Yeah. No, exactly. Here, you make me 4 smoothies.
Yes.
We got one more in us?
I've got a long list still. Trying to see if I can find a decent one.
I'm looking at the time. We got one more in us?
Yeah. Let me find a good one.
Matt's he's pulling some muscles over there. Let me see if I can find another one. I'm trying to load more. Okay, I'm loading more here. My deadbeat dad brought 9-year-old girl me motel shampoo and an adult men's shirt he got for free. Wish I was joking. Titanic all DVD, right. Pirated copy. Already seen it before twice. Didn't have a case. Just had Titanic written in marker pen and didn't belong to the person who gifted it. The DVD was scratched and didn't even play.
Oh, wow, lovely.
Yeah.
When I was 15, I really wanted a dog. My mom knew this. Cue Christmas morning. After we had opened any other presents, my mom came back with one last one. It was wrapped box with holes on the sides, bouncing/moving some. The puppy barks of cuteness. Okay. So I got excited and opened it and met my new best friend. When I opened it, it had a stuffed animal puppy, not taxidermied. That seems unnecessary.
Yeah.
A bumble ball toy and a small tape recorder with puppy barks. My heart sank and I just sat there and cried.
That's pretty mean.
That's just cruel.
Yeah, it's cruel.
Just tell them that they're not, no. Just tell them no. You're not getting a puppy.
Yeah. Why would you? Because now your gift is not an actual gift. Like what you actually got, you didn't get the puppy you wanted, but instead of getting something else that is something you could have maybe been excited for, you just get a fake dog, a fake out of the gift that you aren't getting. 1 year I got what was actually a super cool present. My parents had worked for months putting together this awesome art kit. It was a big toolbox filled with good scissors, glue, paint, colored pencils, glitter, and every other thing a crafty little kid could want. The problem was every time they would go upstairs to add to it, they had a running joke where they would say, "We're going upstairs to feed your present," or "We need to take your present for a walk, tee hee hee." So, of course, on Christmas morning, instead of being a little kid who was stoked to get a huge box of art supplies, I was a little kid who was devastated that I didn't get a puppy. Well, that ending came out of nowhere.
No, it didn't.
What?
Did you not listen to what you were saying?
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, there you go. They kept making jokes about feeding the present and yeah.
Yes. Let's see.
Because parents are assholes to their kids.
So I mistook what was going on. I thought that he had received the art toolkit, like the box with the art supplies in it. And I thought that he already got it. And then since then, every time their parents were going to add more art supplies to the gift he was aware of, that they would jokingly say things like, you got to go feed your present and things like that. Now I understand why he was expecting a puppy instead of an art supply kit.
I grew up really poor and received some batteries for an old toy car I already had, LOL. Looking back, it was kind of funny, but I remember crying when that happened. I was 7.
Couldn't the batteries have been for anything?
I mean, technically, yeah.
Oh.
Unless they said these are specifically for the old toy car you already have. Oh, let's end on a downer.
Okay, let's do it.
My grandfather's suicide note in a card to my family. Naturally, we called and got to his place as fast as we could. He was gone by the time we got there.
Oh,
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
See you next
Christmas.
Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Jeez. Oh, jeez.
If you have a question, complaint, or threat for Sean or Matt, you can reach us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at hsfamouspod. Or you can email the show at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. No animals were pleasured during the making of this podcast, despite our best efforts. All hail our Lord and Savior.
No presents this year, Charlie Bucket.